just go to this link, and there you'll find the 3 OS, whichever it is applicable for your system, you'll have to install it. The next thing is Postman is for, mainly we use the Postman for testing purpose. And for development also we can use when we do any CRs, a new application to be created from the SP. If we create any application, we'll start testing it from there. Each time we do the Postman, each time we run an application, we'll get these success messages. These success messages are the things which we'll get from the Postman. If it is a 401 error, if it is a 404 error, and so on. 401 usually comes for authentication error, and 401 when data is not found. So 500 error comes means you'll directly have to check from the database, because it is internal server error. So we differentiate the errors as per that. In that case, if you are assigned with a bug or a CR, in case a bug, you'll have to first check what error you are getting. So from that we can this is just to identify where the error is, so that we can minimize the time of the search we do while finding the issue. For example, you will be assigned with an error saying 500. When we search on the data, we'll get a 500 error. In that case, you will have to start checking from your database. So in that case, when you are checking in your Postman also, it will throw a 500 error only. Your error status will show here, and the time it takes to run the API. This time is very important. If your API time is exceeded, your application will be very, very slow. So you'll have to handle things in that case. And the size we can compress it by in the final output, because all we are doing it with the AWS, so the size does not matter. So the API call should have the very less time, because when your API is big, your time for executing the particular data will be more. In that case, you will have to minimize your API. Just split it into two using that try-catch method, or split your APIs into two. Like that way, you'll have to do. So in the first case, when I used to log in my application, the first thing is authenticate. So I have to get 200 error on authenticating. Authenticating in the sense I have entered my username and the password. In that case, I have to go to Postman. Just copy this link. You can test it with Angular 1 dev also. But the best way is we can test it with the local API, the API which we are having it in your development JS. So before that, we can check the authentication. We have to copy this link, go to Postman, and put your link here. Okay, when you put your link here, you have to find out the API, whether it is a post call or a get call. Most probably we'll have a post call only. In at cases, we'll get a get call. So here what I'm doing is I'm posting my username and the password to the database for it to authenticate whether it is present there, and then we are logging in. In that case, I'll give a wrong password, and I'm just sending the data. You see, I'll get an error. 404 error, does not authenticated. Similarly, I'll give a correct one. When I give a correct one and I send the call, I will get a success message. Success message is true and have my token here. This token is the JWT token. So next time when you want to check with that, what you have to do is you have to pass your JWT token here. So this one, I think you have got an idea how to pass it. So we just copy the link here, we put it here, and this part will come. When we put here, this is the API call which we are getting from the browser, the API call which we are created. Next thing is the params. These are the things which we pass, the parameters. So in this case, I'll just show. In this case, this is a file upload link where I'm passing my file name and my location. In that case, in params, it will automatically, it's not necessary, I will have to add it. I can just copy it. I'm copying this link. I'm taking it into a new tab. I'm just pasting it here. It will directly show me the two parameters which I am passing it here. So these are the two parameters which I am passing. That is the way in many cases, we have to pass the academic code and all that. In that cases, I'll just show one more. In this case, I am passing all of my data, the curriculum code, academic year. I'm just copying the link and pasting it here. This will directly read the values. In case of undefined, these are the undefined ones. So if you pass these ones, you will get an error. So you can unselect it so that it's not necessary. You have to pass these values. So this is the way your parameters work. And then the next one is the authorization. Authorization is where you pass your bearer token or any API key or bearer token. These are the things which we have for security purpose. So for example, like the JWT token. So when you have the bearer token, you'll have to give your bearer or you have to give your token here, and this is the token entered. I have already added my token here. So this is the token I have added here. This token I've added, and then I will pass the data so that I will not get any authentication issues in the future. Authentication means 401 error. And then next one is the headers. We work as per the school code only. So in you go through different issues as per the school code. So it is mandatory for us. It is mandatory to give the school ID. Only then we'll get the correct data which we want when connected to the database. So headers is mandatory when we pass our post call. Parameters also, if you have it, you can pass. Authorization also, if you have it, you can pass. But headers is something we'll have to do it next on the next step immediately after passing the API call. After that, the body. Here I have hard coded my data. Here you can just hard code it in the sense I'm sending these two datas to my database to check whether it is correct or not. If I get a success message here only, I can go to my front end and integrate my API to the HTML and the JS file. That is how we have to work. So first, when we do the database thing, we'll have to check whether the database is working, the inserting in the table and all that. Next, when we develop the API, our API should get connected with the database by we have to give the data here and we have to get a success message here. Only then we can integrate the API with the JS file and then with the HTML, and then we have to work. This is the flow of the application we should work. And then these are the scripts. Most probably we'll not directly use the scripts here. We'll have the scripts in our API itself. After that, we'll come here. We can directly do it here also, but we'll usually have the code in the C# and then we'll have just pass it through this one. And the test is also the same thing. Test is the same thing which we do here. This is the one we are sending it, but in case of the tests, we'll have to add. For example, I'm inserting a data in the table means I'll give the operator as I and then the curriculum code and academic code. I'll give all that here and I'll send it and see if I'm sending it, I'll get a success one. The tests, this prescript and the test will not be done by the developers. And then the settings is normally you can just use the theme and all that. The next one is the body. In this body alone, you have to check and see what data to pass. What data to pass in the sense, I have another one. In the data I have passed, for example, if I want, I can pass data like this here. So I have to add similar to the insert code in the database. If we want to insert, we'll have to just use insert and then the table name like that. So like that way, in this API call, I want it to take this operator and the data here. So I'm giving it in raw data. And then the parameters, I'm not giving any parameters. If suppose this API call is having parameters here, I'll have to add it here. The data which I have added, I'll have to add it in my parameters. So most probably the data which we are getting, the post data will have the data here. All the get datas will have the data parameters here. And then, yeah, that's all. So immediately once the success message, we are getting it here, right? This one will be got from the API call only. Only when you give a success message, success is true and the token we have given it here. That is why we are getting the data in the postman. Success is true. If it is false, it will directly show false. In case if I give another name here, and another password, it will give me a 401 error. So that is the way we have to do. So when we write when we write a API call itself, we have to write this. If it is an okay status, then return should be okay, and then we have to give a status saying success is this, and then the token we have to add it. So when we have, for example, here we will have it written with the success HTTP status. It will be like this. So this HTTP status should give a success message. If it is giving an internal server error, it will give this error. It will stuck up here and it will not pass. So here you will get an internal server error, whatever it is 500 or internal server is usually 500. So 500 error. If it is a data, if it is not passing through this, it will give you a 500 error. So similarly, everything has to get this success message. So after writing this, we'll have to put in the postman and then test and see. Only after that, we have to go to the integration part of the API. Sorry, the JS file. Okay, any doubts? If you start working in this, you will just get to know. Like, for example, any working application, you just start putting the postman and see, you will have to get the expected data. For example, another data. This is the get URLs. So any get message, I'll just show you how it comes. I'm having this get call for the URLs thing, which is the data is already present in a table. So I'm using it for same SMSM. So when I execute it, I'm getting the parameter which is there, the form field, all the data which is in the table. So this is the data, I'm having it in the table. If you want, you can check and see in your database also. So this is how your get calls output will be, and this is how your post calls output will be. Okay, any doubts?
Ask me randomly, take 4-5 people and ask them questions.
Okay.
Ask me.
Yeah.
Can you explain that body part again?
Okay, the body part. Okay, the body part in the sense, in a post call, I'll use my body part. Okay, the body part in the sense, what data I want to pass. For example, in your table, you'll use an insert table name, and then you'll pass the data which is to be passed in the corresponding columns. Same way, I want to pass my username. My username will be as admin, and my password which I have created for my login page. So when you pass these two, it have to get authenticated there, and it have to give you a post message. In case of a get call, you will have to add the data in your parameters. For example, for this curriculum year, for this academic year, this ethnicity code, I want the respected data. So it will show you the data in the table. This is how you have to differentiate for post call and a get call.
Get call. Okay. That means post and get call for body parts is different.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is okay for parameters, but when I am passing to array, how to check it?
To arrays, in the sense, you will have to add it in your parameter in the body part as a raw data.
Full
Your
array.
data will come like this. So you have to add this part in your actually, this is the data which you got. You're getting the data in the array. So this way you have to add it in your body part. You have to give the proper data here, and then you have to pass it in an array. It will be like this.
And ma'am, what about image and videos?
Image and videos, you will have to give it here. Headers. In your headers, you will have to give video and the value here. Image and videos will be different. Image will be like, you will have to add it here, or you will get a drop down. In the recent Postman version, this is my older version. So in the recent versions, what will you do? you will just give here video, you will get a drop down here saying file or text. In that case, video is a file, it's not a text. So you'll give that file here and you'll upload. Here you will get an upload option. Here you'll have to upload a video version here. Directly it will show the file name. After that, you will have to send that one and see. That will that is the way you insert an image and a video. In video case, it will get upload. In the other way, in another, if you want to upload a PDF file or any text document, that was also the same way. Instead of that, here in the drop down, you will select attachment. In that attachment, you'll have two things. One is a text one and the other one is a file. So in that text means you'll have this PDF, the text documents, all that. In another one, it will take the videos and the images. That is the new version done.
Okay.
Okay, Asmi, and for the API, we are use as a string key value pair. For example, open one APIs,
Okay.
CO inclusion CO dashboard controller .cs.
Which one?
I'll send you in a Zoom chat.
Okay. Inclusion, right?
Yeah, inclusion.
See.
Inclusion CEO. Look here, API is I'm passing the API like it's a key value pair. For this API, same process should follow.
For this case, the same way only, but APIs, okay, in this case, I'll tell you. In this case, if you're passing it with the key value, no, your data will get your testing purpose in your API will cause an issue. Because if how many data, if it is a less number of data means no issues. But if it is taking a large number of data, then your API call will get the hanged up. Like it will take a lot of time to load. That is the cause we are asking to pass the parameters and test it in your Postman, check the time and then see. For example, here I'm getting a 500 error and it is taking this much of time. So the same way only you have to follow it, but you have to, after doing this, you have to check your time and see how long it is taking to execute this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Most probably for the dashboards, it will take time. So in that case, either we have to integrate our SP or the API. Our API call should be less because we'll have a lot of data to load from the SP. So our API should be built up in that case. For that only we are using Postman to check the time of execution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello,
Any doubts? Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Asmi, we have to just copy that API and paste it in that URL, correct, right? And then we have to pass the
Which
So-
application
if
you are
suppose
checking? The same thing.
no any application. If I
Hmm.
want to check the save data functionality, then just copy that URL and we have to paste it over there, right?
Yeah, that is all. But you have
We have
to set the debugger in your API. For example, I'll just show. I have passed for this one I have passed it. This is giving me internal error because I have not connected to the.
Just show it now how you have passed it. I mean, just
Yeah.
open it again and just try it once.
So I'm just taking this one. Okay, I don't know this.
This is that URL which you have copied from the application, right?
Yeah. So this is my local API. This is for file upload. I'll just copy it and show. It will just reload it. Okay. Directly it read the file name, the parameters, it directly read it here. If you want, you can add it.
No, from where you took that, just show no.
This one.
Hmm.
This is an upload document. No, actually, I come. Okay, I'll show you. But the thing for Postman, no, you're testing it only for your backend. Okay, before developing, you have to test Postman like you have to not have any knowledge about your front end. Okay, without the front end. Now I'll just go with one application. It is a file upload link. Okay. I've just took one API call. I have pasted here. This is the this for this school ID. If you want, for the school ID, I will just pass. mm, I'm staging OM or any school, okay? Because I've taken upload IHS. For IHS, this is the thing. So I have taken IHS. For that, I'm sending this one. Okay, it is not a get. If it is a get call, it is not, it will show me it is not a get call. Now I'm going to a post one because file upload, I'm just posting a file. I'll just post it here. My API will open because I've set a debugger here. This means my API is getting connected for the particular link I have given. So with this, we'll just give the usual debugging will be done. If I get continue, I'll get an error here. An internal error will throw because I have not connected to the AI the database is not connected properly because I'm not connected to the VPN. So I'll get database error means I've told you it is a 500 error. Similarly, if I go to another one, any CUD, this is a get call. Okay, I've just passed here. This is an image view application. Okay, image view application I have passed here. Directly it gets here. The section code, the academic here, everything is directly passed here. And here, no data is there. I'm just passing it. It is a get call. I want the data, but it is giving me a 401 error because I can't view the image directly. Images can't be viewed directly here. But it is a 40 error. And 401 error can be accepted because it is just the authentication one. So if the 401 error comes, you can go check it in your front end. Other than 401 error, which is 404 and 500 error, can't be accepted. If it is here, you'll have to check your API and your database. This is the way we can test and see. 401 means you have to pass your bearer token here. If you have your bearer token, you have to pass your bearer token here. It will be like this. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, hello.
Actually, now over here in this, here you have passed local host and API name, right? And student
Yeah.
image.
Yeah.
This is the API till get student details. And the
Okay.
rest part, which is the code, grade code, academic part. So this from where you got, like you took it,
This is
how you
also
got
from
this,
here. This is
or you have
also from
passed it.
yeah, everything is given here only. Mm. See, this is the one I copied.
So the whole
And
API we have to copy and paste it
yeah.
and then check.
Yes. Any doubts?
Asmi, so when you pass that API path, no, so automatically it displays that whatever value is there in that
Yeah,
get
it is.
function. For
It will
example, grade code
automatically
and all.
come. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want
Also,
to
it will get
ask it
select by
also, you
default,
can
or
unselect it.
okay,
Yeah.
so you can you can remove also.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, any
Can you
doubts?
explain me environment variable? How to set global variable environment?
Which one?
That local host on 59827 devil server error, no? Madan sir is showing our that part. React, yes.
React.js. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, React.js, you call me separately, I'll tell you. Because I have to connect, that is a different local host. So I have to
Okay.
connect that or run that API because there we are using Node, that is a different API. So that has to be run differently. You call me over
Okay, okay.
Teams, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
If there are no more questions, we can wind up.
Yes, sir.